Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope my show find you good and healthy and still surviving from the onslaught of the high interest rate that we see in US. And definitely is that peripheral to our local markets. Definitely right now we can see our market is sort of stuck and not going anywhere. So what do you make of this, right? As many people, including all the analysts, is still bullish in our market, and that's why we will take a look at some of the headline that is surrounding our KLSE. Let's get started, shall we? So this is your host, Martin Wong, with Trading Idea with SMARTRobie. Now in our market, let's take a look at where the market is. Let me just, I want to show you this, is we are still in the blue trend zone. You can see just above me in here. We did have a spring, we have upthrust. It just tells you it is facing plenty of resistance, trying to break higher. As markets go higher, there are a lot of people wanted to cut loss, they try to sell high. As this market continue to struggle, it is still staying above the ATR stop loss, or more importantly, staying above the 1600. So we are in the blue trend zone. It still means this market is still trending upright. Not until we see the red pentagon that you see again in front there, then there is probably some sign of downtrend from here. So that is what I want to share with you on understanding the trend of our market this morning in here. Now let's go on to what I have for you in our usual daily KLCI headline. Now if you really find our program today very interesting, please do share it in your timeline and post me a good thumbs up in here, as today is Friday and we are at almost episode 47. That's right, time really passes by when you are enjoying yourself, like me just doing in here. And for those of you who want me to review your stock, do put it key it in there. Of course, I will always give first preference or first priority to our stock reviewer in there. If you've not done so, do go over to the Google Play Store and Apple Play Store, as well as Facebook, to give us a review on our SMARTRobie. We're happy to appreciate that for any. So let's look at what we have for you this morning. Is definitely is the Friday segment. So we'll be looking at Premium Alert. Now do remember, Premium Alert gets updated every 30 minutes. Okay, so let's look at what the headline that we have for you. Now the first one is definitely from S&P. The global ratings usually does a lot of rating, but they're also doing a rating on Malaysian market in here. As such, they are looking for a 7.5 GDP growth for Malaysia, and that's what I want to clap. A 7.5 GDP growth, that is something which is, can we achieve it? Of course, there is a hinge. What do you think, audience in here who's listening here? Do you think this year, 2021, we will achieve a 7.1 from the S&P 500 growth rate? A 6.5 again on this top side here from IMF for Malaysia, but it hinged on the vaccine rollout that we're seeing. But the vaccine rollout in Malaysia has been very, very slow. So far, we need vaccine about 300,000. In US, they're doing almost 2.1 million or 2.1 million per day. This is only 300,000 since almost 3 weeks ago, if I remember, 2 weeks ago. So again, everything hinge on the vaccine rollout. So what do you think? Do you think we will surpass the amount that we wanted to go? And do let me know too. All right, let's take a look what we have for you right now. And the next headline is, because of the recovery that we're thinking about, the GDP growth, constructions, and those of you who have typed in sector analysis on SMARTRobie, if you type in sector analysis, you will definitely see a column chart which are the sectors that is doing well, and that's been the purpose of it. So you can see recovery catalyst is definitely in the construction, able to gain from Permakasa, a lot of Perkasa, all this Kasa here in here. And again, analysts are pretty bullish with this, achieving a 170 target here. Do you think we'll reach 1700? Let's look at where is KLCI right now. Now we are at 1624. So another 80 points we need to go up. Of course, if those 80 points were to go up, you need to have rubber glove. That's right. Now, if you check on rubber glove this morning, some of those rubber gloves are starting to melt. Let me just show you, because I was instructed to, sort of give you a hint where is the market, especially the rubber glove. So if the rubber glove is moving, the banks are slightly recovering because of the better GDP growth, right? And you got the tech stock got up, will recover because now it's undergoing to what we call possible correction of the interest rate, which I will talk about in next. So if you look at right now, top glove hit that one, and switching to a wider chart here, you will definitely see top glove has turned green pentagon. That's right, you can see in here. For the first time, it has turned green pentagon. And also check out rubber Rexo. Didn't say I didn't tell you, okay? And finally, maybe we can say that there is hope in rubber glove too. Of course, top glove continued to give us one of the highest fundamental ratings, paying a dividend in there, but the dividend has already been paid out. Do take note of that one. So what do you think? Some of you who still have rubber glove, do you think this green the green pentagon that you see on this side of the head, will it indicate the market to go back up? But incidentally, one of the analysts I was talking about, and I did highlight this, is the very close target price of top glove, 7 ringgit and 10 cents. Now it's about 520. So you have a potential upside of 34% in here, because you have a PE rating of 6.3, and if it were to go up higher to around 8.5, hey, you got a 34% rating. What do you think? Do let me know in there, and definitely this is what we want to look at. All right, let's look at the next headline that we have for you. No other than HSL. Now HSL have won a SMARTRobie project, but if you know that HSL, if I've seen last seen this chart, it's been sort of trending sideways, not that much of a participation. Let's look at the stock price this morning in here, and the stock price today is up 3% because of this win, isn't it? 130 million in here. Will it turn green pentagon or blue trend zone? What do you think? It is still pretty much zig here, zigzag there, you can see, right? And or if you look at on the top left hand side above there, a lot of those charts really not moving as much as I like to. I like to see a bit of accumulation, and there is absolutely no volume in that. We want to see some volume, but not extreme no volume that we see in here. But having said that, let's hope HSL with this win for the SMARTRobie project turning green pentagon. And maybe some of you who are from SMARTRobie, and those of you who are SMARTRobie, please give me. All right. Now let's look at the next we have on the headline here is definitely renewable project from the green energy. Now bottom line is, and this news that they talk about, 3 counters they talk about, do take note, write that down: Dialog, Serber Dynamics, and Yinsun. That's right. So these are the 3 oil and gas players at energy who are moving into renewable energy because of the LSS, large solar project that we're talking about in here. All right. So this is something that you want to take note. Let's take a look at Dialog. Having said that, Dialog, hit that one. Let's look at the chart too. Switching to a wider chart in here, you can see green. Pentagon much yellow, blue trend zone. Would it move up? Yeah, right. Let's take a look at Dialog this morning in here. Stock price, and it is down minus 1.2%. Haha, what to do? All right. So let's look at another one, Serber Dynamics, which I think I talked about earlier. Serber Dynamics. It's one of those very good ratings, and you can see in here. Let's look at the stock chart today. Blue trend zone. Okay, we have to wait for the internet in here. All right, so let's look at the Yinsun. Okay, let's look at the stock price. All right, so the stock price today is down 1.2% in here, but you can see from the chart on this side here, right, the stock has moved up a fair bit. Of course, when the market moves up a fair bit, you see profit taking, and also recently we have this little bit of sell-off on the crude oil and also palm oil too. The palm oil has hit 4,200, sell back to 3,008. That's always the case, especially those of you who want to buy at the top. Be careful, be a trained trader and a trained investor, because there is a lot of opportunity, but there's a lot of risk too. So take note of this one in here. Okay, so all right, there are a couple of questions in here. How to do review at SMARTRobie? Go over to Facebook, look for review, or go over to Google Play Store. and right at the bottom there you can review it, okay, in there. That's so simple. Only way to do that is going there to review it. All right, let's look at what we have for you in our next story is Pharmaniaga. Now, Pharmaniaga has been a story as early as, I think, last year, September, when they start talking about the vaccine rollout, Pharmaniaga, and everybody just got into Pharmaniaga. Guess what? The big bad story is now they downgrade. They downgrade Pharmaniaga because they're not sure whether Pharmaniaga can do this or not. But anyway, by the time you hear of this news, it's already too gone already lah. Let's see Pharmaniaga. Okay, let me see. Pharmaniaga. Okay, Pharma. Okay, you can hit Pharma in there. Hey, and by the way, if you look on top here, you got how many Pharma there? D Pharma, NPS, and Peros. Okay, so let's look at Pharmaniaga there, and let's look at stock comment in here, and what's the chart is coming to. There you go, all the way from $4. So someone knows something about this, isn't it? Right? So if you have followed this green pentagon, or at least cut at the ATR stop loss, that will be around $4.60, and you don't suffer another $1. Right now, it's time to buy based on what we see on the technical side of it. But these are lofty expectations. They are saying that like in here, and this news, those of you at Pharmaniaga, they are cutting their price even lower to 2 ringgit 50 cents. That's right, target price 2 ringgit 50 cents. So where is Pharmaniaga this morning in here? Let's look at the stock price in. It's down 0.3% in here. Something those of you who have this as a healthcare stock do take note. Right now, healthcare, if you look at the sector analysis column charts that we have in here, you will see healthcare is on the left, the most right hand side, very, very red, very, very bearish in here. All right, take note about that one. So you are being informed. All right. So also let's go across to the big brother, the US market. Now, last night US fell because of the interest rate 10-year yield hitting 1.7. It has not done that, and the 30-year yield interest rate also hit 2.5% because of the stronger optimistic. But it's kind of interesting to see, because some of the reader did tell me, Martin, at one point you have Jerome, the US FOMC, Jerome Powell said that they are committed to maintain low interest rate or almost zero interest rate. But right now we are seeing the 10-year yield. Could this be a shakeout to shake everybody out? And the tech stock continued to have a big sell-off last night. The NASDAQ in here, Dow Jones barely just held on to it, but it's still 153 points, just staying above the 32,000. So those of you who have tech stock like myself, we have to grant it through. If Jerome Powell is holding up to the low interest rate, let's hope they do start doing the asset bond buying. So remember, I always said before, asset bond buying, if you buy the asset, means the asset price goes up, interest rate come down, and that's how it works. And there were little news about they committing almost 100 billion per month, because the last time I did hear it was about 80 billion per month buying, and that should keep the interest rate low. Higher interest rate also doesn't help US, because US, we all know, when I talk about the US market last talk, they had about 28 trillion debt, and about almost 17 to 18 trillion of those are in the so-called treasury. So with 1.5, 1.7, you're talking about 32 billion interest payment to the biggest debtor of US treasury. U-bond is definitely no other than China, Japan, and some of the EU country. That's right. So take note of this one. All right. Now let's move on to again the something that something that we do trade, the SMARTRobie, using the Pentagon portfolio strategy in here. As I repeat again, last year by following those rules, right, the Pentagon guided trading fixed rules, we are able to achieve 106% for a portfolio of 35,000. And using that same strategy, so far we are up 9% from January to March. Now that's the question I'm gonna ask you. Is your portfolio up about 9%? Now, how many of you are up about 9% or able to beat this 9% in here? Okay. Now last year we achieved 100%. Will we achieve 100% at the end of 2021? So by following the SMARTRobie, you're able to see this. But we're kind of happy as long as we beat the KLCI at minus 0.3%. We are up 9%. That is why you should continue to follow our Pentagon trading portfolio strategy, and some of those rules, we will talk about it on this weekend. That's right. Make sure you find us on this weekend, then you're able to profit. Very important, again, going back to the agenda of being a train trader and a train investor, you always have to ask yourself, what are you doing today that is correct to ensure you have a better ending for year 2021 in terms of your portfolio? Because when you can improve your portfolio and your return, then you can put more money into it. Because most people I do see, they start off with 5,000, 15,000, 20,000, maybe because that's all they have. But those of you who are in the so-called mid or senior ages, you want to do more. But because you were never been trained, never had a proper agenda, never been been trained by from our coaches and myself in here, so you lack of that so-called and that sort of framework. So that is why we invite you to follow and join our program constantly, knowing all the facts, like something I'll talk about the interest rate in here. And I also got one of the letters from our masterclass participant, which we have been doing a lot of revision, a lot of weekly, and that is the kind of knowledge when I first started to be trained as a fund manager, as a trader. That is what you also need, right? The constant training and the constant prep talking by myself to get you up in the space. The opportunity is here. That's right. The question is, are you willing to lean forward to take up that challenge? Now, how many of you are lean forward to take up? Just type train trader and train investor. All right. So this is the goal that I give up to you. 9% return for the last 3 months. Now we're only up to about March. Okay. Take a look at that one. Okay. So let's move on to the highlight of the advanced trade idea that we have so far. Remember, the premium alert is updated every 30 minutes. Now, there is a question, the difference between Pentagon Guider and premium alert. Very simple. Pentagon Guider is the beginning of the beginning of movement. Now, if you have followed and you have followed constantly and also go over to our free tutorial and watch it, you would have understand all this. And partly sometimes you don't do that is because you don't spend enough time to understand the technical aspect of the market. So take some time, watch all those videos, follow Zac every Monday or Friday, and if you want more, join our next masterclass. That's right. That's all you want to do. Be committed to join and enhance your knowledge in there, and that's what we always do. I have been committed every week, myself and my coach in here, to train you and to let you, give you a lot of trade ideas in here, like BSL Corp up 20% since 25th. Only 2 bars, Amanda 8.9, SLF 11%, and up in 5 bar. And do notice some of this big movement in here. Okay, now of course, let's start with the lesson learned on the 2 stock trade idea we talk about. GOB, those of you remember, which we talk about on the 12th of March, right? And the other one is the JAGS. That's right. And now those 2 stocks are still holding up despite what we've seen in here. Now remember, GOB. You all know what is GOB? GOB is, I don't know, just type here lah. Just use it to check GOB. That's right. You can't GOB, hit that one. Okay. Look at GOB, hit the stock fundamentals. Okay. What do? Switch to a wider chart here. You can see, this one, of course, property lah. No, if not, go to the website, hit GOB here, okay? Hit this one and you can find out more. And it's also Sharia compliance, only rated 1, okay? Oh, first thing you see is property, isn't it? That's right. So all this recovery, that is why in our show, Trade VSA, we will try to align the news, the macroeconomics that you read on your star business, that you hear from your friends, coffee shop analysts, as well as reading some of the online blogger, then you will be in sync with what's happening out there to the stocks in here. And that's always been one of the things that I always wanted to do in here. So let's look at GOB right now. All right, GOB in here. So GOB, I don't need to be so big, just make it a bit smaller in here, push it down. So you can see GOB, that's why. Now remember, on the 12th of March, okay, let me just turn this off again. There's a 12th of March, this is where we were, and switching again. So those of you who are active, very active, I think many of you are active, right? Like Yuki every day also come and listen to me. So do get the plugin. That's right, get in the plugin. Elsewhere you are insufficient, do not have the skills, do not have the right to. So you can see on the 12th of March, this is where we are. So the market did came up, but one thing good about it, you can see the volumes are very, very low. Now take note, in our masterclass, this is where we will go into depth and teaching you how to read those volume charts. That's right. So something that you want to really upgrade yourself and know more about this. But right now, the market is staying above. Of course, use those trading plan for that one. How to get it? Subscribe to our package. That's right. Now in SMARTRobie, those of you who are interested in here, you can see, there you go. The plan and the pricing on the left-hand side there. There is a plan and the pricing right in the middle. Hit that one and you can subscribe to that in here. Trade VSA plugin 6 months, 1600. Or you want to come to the masterclass, here's the price over there. Everything is inside there. Okay. Can I register for tomorrow's seminar? Yeah, go ahead. I think so. You can just click on inside there. But we have limited seats for 500. Now, I always ask people, why everything you all do last minute, man? Don't do last minute. That's what, if that must train you all well. If you all do last minute, opportunity also last minute, everything also buy high. That's what Data Sonic kena lah. You buy at the high. Don't do that. Always be the early bird. That's what I talk about Top Glove, being the early bird. All right. So in here, Premium Alert is always being the early bird in here. All right. Let's look at the next stock we have is also Zac. Okay. No, this is Jag. Okay. JAG. Zac Berhad, you can see we were at the 12th of October, you can see, 12th of March in here around this time, and the market's still holding up. I think this Zac, switching it to a daily chart, has potential, and guess what? It has no supply. Now, how many of you know the importance of no supply, which I talked about in the earlier episode on Wednesday? All right, you must know the power of no supply in here, all right, because it's one of the best setup for pullback that have very high win rates. That's right. So make sure you check it out from our, those of you who are interested, check it out from our plugins in here. You can subscribe it through in here, hit that one, and you're able to purchase it in here. All right. Richie Rich bought at 350, but still holding, looking at SMARTRobie. Do I catalog average down? I will look into that, Richie. Okay, thank you. I'll probably give you a bit of hint in there. So let's move on to our next in here. All right, let's look at what we have for you today, okay, on our Premium Alert. First one is Turiya. Okay, let's look at Turiya. So Turiya, very nicely done. First one, Premium Alert. And also Pentagon Guider. Yes, Pentagon Guider came in yesterday, this morning follow. Now, this is what I talk about, Richie, right? Many times, it's like, you see dual pharma, you're stuck there. So I always tell people, cut half first. Maybe if the thing go back up, okay. But if you don't cut half, how are you going to buy Turiya? Because remember, we are trading, it's like trading horses. So if your horse is not running, what do you want to sit on that horse for? Right? Of course, people say, hey, this horse long-term will run. But here, with SMARTRobie and with our education, with our program, you're able to see a lot of horses running. And again, going back to the agenda, train trader and train investor, whether you want to get trained or not. Most of the time, people say, yes, I want to get trained. But when we come to investing our time and money through a proper structured, what we do for many for our members in here, they find it, don't want I do something similar first. And guess what? You continue to suffer, continue to be challenged, like what you see in those dual pharma. Because like it or not, there are smart money out there. Just look at data prep. They are designed to trap you. So take note what I've said before if you're hearing me, okay? So Yuki also bought a Data Sonic in here, okay? Yuki is one of our reviewers. So let's look at Data Sonic. You bought at 56 cents, okay? 56 cents. This is Data Sonic, 56 cents here. Not bad. You bought a green Pentagon. Okay, good. That's very good. So 56 cents in here. You came down 12% in here. So let's look at what Robie say about Data Sonic. Okay, D Sonic. Let's look at the exit strategy in here. So it says that take profit at 69 cents or 65 cents. Did it hit 65 cents? Yes, it did hit 65 cents. The first target profit did hit 65 cents in here. Exit on the next Pentagon. D Sonic is still in the up range, right? But do be careful. Stop loss is at 53.5 cents. There you go. So simple. All right. So SMARTRobie able to provide you. As I said before, SMARTRobie is smart enough for you to sustain your agenda as a trade trader and trade investor. But for those of you who want to upgrade, to learn how to read the chart, learn more about the setup, like the no supply, and getting more enhanced tool, that's the one we are talking about here. So that's the one that I want to talk more about this weekend on our value growth investing course. Okay, so there you go. All right, we will talk more about it. Let's look at the next one here. Okay, so we done that one, but before, okay, so we done that already. Okay, let's switch back to our chart here. Next one is HiapTek. Sorry, forgot it's HiapTek. Okay, HiapTek. HiapTek is a new, came out in the Pentagon, but look at this, baby. Whew, look at that, no supply in here. Another no supply, no supply, no supply. All right. So if you have this plugin able to see no supply and understand in here, there you go. Right now we have this up to here. That's almost a 30% in the money. That's right, 30% in the money. That's something great, isn't it? So keep in mind why you want to buy at Pentagon. Now also look at Top Glove today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So Top Glove, also same thing. Will it run like Turiya? Would it run like Sys Life? Would it run like many of those green Pentagon? We shall see. All right, definitely follow the SMARTRobie in here and you'll be first involved. And if you look at Supermax, it's very, very similar too. The rubber glove is slowly coming back. Be first to know here. All right. So finally, we're seeing some daylight after a very stormy day. Haha. All right. So let's move on to the chart setup that I always talk about. Now, a lot of the time, pay attention to low volume. Okay, so let's look at this chart here. Do we see a lot of low volume here? Right. Oh yes, we do. Look at this one here. All these are low volume, isn't it? Right. And then we have one volume moving up in here, and that's what you want to do. So you can buy a good fundamental chart. As I said before, many of you are fundamental, but if you don't understand the setup, then you are like half blind. How to see? But if you have fundamental, one eye, and if you have VSA, there will be two eye. Don't you have 3D stereo vision? That's what I'll talk about in here. All right. So knowing that will definitely help out. So let's see if Top Glove can break back to $7, which is the old high that we have inside here. Haha, interesting enough. All right. So this is what we have. So let's move on to now this is the Trade VSA short tutorial, which is only 9 minutes. So this is available on the YouTube. It's free for everyone to sort of catch up. But if you want to know more, where we spend 3 days on the Trade VSA, definitely that's the one I will talk about it later. All right. So scan me and try to, and definitely for this weekend, this is the agenda as I flash on, will be our repeat that we did somewhere in January. I think, yes, the value growth investing, where I'll talk about a lot of the growth stock in Malaysia as well as US, with a bonus session at 3 o'clock on Bitcoin valuation. I want to share with you why I am bullish on Bitcoin and why you should have some Bitcoin shares and some of the benefit inside there on the US perspective in here, and also talk about how we achieved that 9% on the Pentagon guided trading portfolio. So all those for a one-day workshop. We start at 10, so make sure you come in about 9:45 in there, and we'll take us up to about 4 o'clock. I want to spend a bit more time in here. I know the usual, many of you have a lot of questions that we cannot cover here. Definitely this itself, this one-day course, right, is almost free, because when you recommend to 2 friends and they download, you already gotten 800 points, and then you credit, and then you just hit purchase from the SMARTRobie stocks inside there. All right, so take note of this agenda because I will see you tomorrow in here. I'm still preparing and amending some of the presentation I have for you in here. Definitely, we will do a lot more tomorrow on our Zoom room in here. All right, and this is the ultimate masterclass that I talk about. That's the one that I'm able to help you to work on some of the challenges that you have and why you're not doing so well and how you can become better. It's our masterclass. Again, you want more information in here, you can see over here. You can click that one. That's the one on top there. For a 3-day workshop, get a 12-month plug-in, but you do have repeat classes. That is all right. Sorry about that. There was a glitch on our technical side. So you can see in here, we have many benefits. Definitely one of them will be our continual revision of our masterclass to ensure that you can come back and re-attend for the entire year. You not only get one class, but you get one 3-day masterclass plus another repeat plus another revision too. It's definitely one of the best deal in town that we, the coaches and myself, able to train you up and up in there. So do think about this. This is, you can definitely lose more in the market, but invest your time. And I think many of you who have been a big follower of me, I thank you for your support so far. If not, do come to our tomorrow class. Okay, this, what you invest in life is what you get. Okay, the more you put in, the more you reap. And that's the same thing happening. I didn't start it out. I was very much like you guys too. When I first started off as an engineer, I made a lot of mistakes inside there, but I do have my own sifu, and over time, I built the necessary ecostructure. And very importantly, I also invest my time and into the technology and able to bring you SMARTRobie that you enjoy right today in here. Okay, so let's go on to what we have next. All right, so make sure you share it with your friends. Okay, and here is Richie Invest. Thank you for your kind review in the Apple Google Play Store. He's been a SMARTRobie user since July 2020. Very useful information. It has 3 common stocks inside there. It does provide exit plan and also a lot of the ideas to check it out in here. What store? So highly recommended for all. Thank you, Richie. So you are one of our first priority for stock review in here. Now, if also thank you goes to Chris Chin, LK Kwan, and Yuki for your Facebook review in here. But do go over to Google Play Store, Yuki, and give us a review on the Google, because we need to have review on Google Play Store to make sure to improve our ratings over there. So right now, I will go through some stocks, and this is the QR code for some of you who want to review us on SMARTRobie in here. Definitely take a QR code of that one and get through. So what I want to do now is go through some of the stock pick that you all want me to look at. Not on this side here. We talk about Data Sonic already. Okay, Lim Mei Fen. Okay, Lim Mei Fen want about do G3 because she's also one of our earlier reviewer. Of course, Richie, you got anything else you want me to take a look? G3. All right, G3, like it or not, there is no green pentagon. SMARTRobie doesn't like this because of the climatic volume. You can see this, anything that goes up like widespread bar with high volume in here, it doesn't like it. You can see, right? And right now you got the uptrust this morning. See, gone up 30%, another 29% in here. So definitely not a good trade unless you have real-time charts, trading on the hourly charts. Else, don't commit yourself. Okay, go for those that has very good odds. That's again going back to train trader and train investor. If you're not trained well, most of the time you make this kind of mistake, jumping in like data prep, jumping in, or some of these stocks. Don't be careful of the trap that is set up by smart money, and do have a plan what to do if it doesn't work out in here. All right, so that's G3 inside. Okay, D Pharma, I think I advised you already, right? Just on Richie. All right, okay. What else? Okay, let me look at this side here for some stock picks. Any of you have? Okay, so that's it. Okay, there's only one from, Lai Kok Fong. As I said before, we have taken a look at the Turiya. That's a good one inside there, okay? And Charlie asked me how to do that, so I've given you a hint how to update it. So that's all I have for you. For those of you who want me to review your stock, do put it in the stock review. And when I come back on Monday, I'll be first to update yours in here. So there are some of them I'm not able to do so. I apologize that. We'll probably do it if I have a chance on tomorrow's session in our value investing course in there. So before we go, I also want to give you something. Our next technical analysis trading, this is completely free on Zoom. You can sign it up in there. There's a link in there on the 3rd of February because we wanted to continue to give you the education that is needed, right? So when you are ready for the next level, you have those skills, the technical skills like reading charts, the value growth investing course. And when you are ready, you want to upgrade it, definitely there is a chance for you to go and able to reach a level that you're able to be very comfortable with the condition of market that you see, and you will avoid many of the mistakes that is made by beginner buying high. All right. So of course, do subscribe to our YouTube for a lot of great content. This is the youtube.com/tradevsa in here. Go over and you can use the QR code on the top left hand side in here. Scan it and you will never miss any of our public and great content, great sector and great trade idea to pick in here. And not forgetting those of you who have joined our Telegram chat room, thank you for your support, and do share that with your friends so they will benefit too. With that, I see you guys tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and we have a great day ahead of us on Saturday. Bye bye.